Hello and welcome. It's Japan, and a little late, but still before the event is my NXT deadline predictions. This PLE I actually honestly think will be one of those really solid PLEs, even though the matches feel like they don't have as much stakes. Because obviously you get the Iron Survivor matches, which I think are always really good. Um, but I think also with like having some of the other matches, they have just enough like feel that we know that they're gonna be great matches, even if they're not like long term storylines paying off. So yeah, let's just jump into it. We got the first one is the underground match, the one I'm least excited for. I'm just not a big fan of this like the style of wrestling. It somehow feels like so slow paced compared to everything, which it's supposed to be. So it's not like it's wrong. It's just not my style. I don't watch MMA either, so like I think that might be part of it. But it's Lola Vice versus Jada Parker. I feel like this one's kind of a guaranteed one. It should be Lola Vice that wins here because her stock has been kind of plummeting ever since that Roxanne Perez promo that she cut. So I think she has to win here, but I think it's going to be an okay solid match. Again, I'm not looking forward to it. I would be fine with just a regular match between these two. They've already had some good matches, but I think that's kind of how we go. Jada Parker is also so extremely over that if anybody's going to lose a match, I think it's not going to matter as much for her. So Lola Vice wins here. That's probably the one match that I can like guarantee like to the T, I think. I don't know, though. I say that, and that could definitely change it. Next up is the NXT Tag Team Champions. It's Fraxium versus No Quarter Catch Crew. And honestly, like, in some weird way, like the No Quarter Catch Crew has been very hot lately. Obviously, Charlie Dempsey is the Heritage Cup winner or holder, and then Ren Sinclair made it as the last spot, which was a very good choice. I'm a big Ren Sinclair fan. And Miles Ward and Tavian Heights. Tavian Heights had an insane time over there in Japan and did some amazing stuff. So if there's a team to beat Fraxium, I feel like this might be the one, but I feel like I just don't necessarily see them losing the championships here. It's a really 50-50 thing. I feel like with a fleshed out feud between these two tag teams, I think it works pretty well. But I feel like Fraxium's still like the top tag team. Like, I don't know, NXT's men's tag division is weird to me because it feels like there's a lot of teams in there, but then there's not a lot of teams. And what I mean by that is like they're here, but you know very little about the teams, and you've a lot honestly I don't care about a lot of them. They're there, but I don't. Frank and was Frank? I said Frank. Tank and God, now I don't even remember the other name. They're not that crazy for me. Gallus, even the ones that they just kind of put together, it's just they're there, but they're just I'm not like invested in just being like this is a tag team I really want to see have the titles. Pretty much the only team that's like that is Nathan and Axiom, and I feel like they're teasing an eventual breakup with them, but I don't know. I don't see this being the moment here, but I guess we'll see because Nathan Frazier's pulling double duty either way, so that's gonna be kind of crazy. So we'll go with the tag team champs winning here. Then we got the number one contender women's match for the Iron Survivor, which is Julia, Stephanie, Zarya, Sol Ruka, and Ren Sinclair. This is one of those rare matches that I love absolutely every single competitor in this match. These are like the top women that I love in NXT. So I'm like very happy about the match, but I'm also like very concerned because like I'd be happy if any of them won. I honestly believe with Stephanie and Julia having secured pinfalls over Roxanne, they're kind of the forerunners here. But like Zarya is also really big up there. I feel like Zarya should be aiming more towards like the North American title range. Same thing with Rin Sinclair because I think they'd be great champions. But I don't know, dethroning Roxanne Perez feels not quite where they're at. And Solric has just been amazing since being back from injury and just does that soul snatcher out of nowhere, and I freaking love that move. So I'm thinking, I don't know. Even now that I record this, I just really don't know. This is a hard one because I feel like if we're going with who out of this five is going to dethrone Roxanne by them winning this match, I think you go with Julia here because I think Julia is still the right choice for the winning the or not tag team, winning the championship off of Roxanne Perez. I think that instant heat will propel Julia because I feel like Julia is like probably out of these five the most main roster ready, at least on skill. So I feel like she's not going to be in NXT for a long haul. So like she can win the championship from Roxanne, and by the time she drops it, she might be ready to be booted back up to the main roster. Maybe, I don't honestly know. That's just my feeling. So I think I'm gonna go with my heart and go with Julia here. I really I really don't know. Um, it's a hard one. I think the dark horse would be Sol Ruka winning, but even Ren Sinclair, if she goes in there, Ren Sinclair has had one hell of a last 2 months. She's faced Julia, Stephanie, and Zarya, and all obviously they were all losses, but like to have that confidence that we just signed 3 outside people, and we're gonna put her in a match with somebody that we feel can go out there and make those people look good and do that. And they picked Ren Sinclair for all 3 of those. That is just insane. And this is her flowers being put onto this. And I hope I think Ren will have some of the best just in-ring work in this match. She's going to take the best bumps. She's going to do some of the crazier stuff. Obviously, like Sol Ruka is going to probably have the moment. Like she's going to have the moment. And then the other 3 are just solid wrestlers. So I honestly say this is going to be one of the best matches this year, I'm hoping. And I don't know if I'm pumping it up too much to be disappointed, but that's how I'm feeling. So let's go to the men's number 1 contendership match for the Iron Survivor, or with the Iron Survivor. So we know it's Wesley, Ethan Page, Nathan Frazier, and Javon Evans. And then Eddie Thorpe was the last one to get in there, but he was mysteriously taken out. Now, I believe whoever replaces Eddie Thorpe will automatically kind of be up there as a choice. Now, I've heard a lot of stuff. There's a million guesses. Now, I think an easy one that would make some really crazy ripples, like and they don't have to do anything crazy, is Axiom. Axiom was in the last chance match, so there's a possibility they could easily just go to Axiom, and have Axiom versus Frazier could really bring that tag team dynamic of one of them turning on each other and then making those belts even look stronger. And neither of them would even have to win the match. They just have to do their own stuff in it. That would be very good. That's kind of like my high percentage one. And then next up, there's a good shot it was a Samoan. Could easily just be a Rock hit because like his daughter got attacked technically by Eddie Thorpe. Like, even though it wasn't really his fault, I don't feel like The Rock's one of those people that's going to be listening to that. It could be 100% not your fault, but you touched a little hair on his precious daughter, and I'm thinking like that's a Samoan hit job right there. So it could be a couple of the people that they've signed. I can't think of his name. It's a Haiku. That could be his debut. Is that he takes out Eddie Thorpe and then Ava puts him in there because they need the space, and it would make a lot of sense because if it's she maybe was in on it too, you never know. So I could see something like that. I feel like those are the top 2 choices for me. I'm racking my brain to really think, unless it's somebody outside or like somebody that they're debuting. I heard Penta also because they said he's officially a free agent, but I'm pretty sure he has like a non-compete for a certain amount of time. That would kind of seem crazy, but I guess it would make sense if they had this already in the bag, if they brought Penta in. I think whoever's in that 5th spot has a high chance to win, but because I don't know who that 5th person is, I'm not going to vote for that person. So out of the people here, and knowing that this person will face the winner of the Trick Williams-Reg Holland match, especially if it's Trick Williams, I think Wesley and Javon Evans would be the top 2, and I think they should go Javon Evans here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Wesley. Ethan Page has a really good high chance. I really don't think Nathan Frazier has a chance to win. I think he's the lowest one that I think on the list. I think he's going to have some crazy moves and do some really cool stuff. So it's going to be awesome. But I don't really see him being the one. So if that's the case, I'm going to go with Javon Evans. I think that's kind of also like the same view with the Julia pick. It's who I personally like the most out of this match. And because I'm happy and I'm just going to be along for the ride, I got no problem with whoever wins either one of the men's or the women's. The women's especially, all 5, any single one. If Ren Sinclair runs the table and wins out of those 5, I'd have no problem. I'd be sitting here with a smile on my face and I'd be perfectly happy. Everybody in those matches are great. Obviously, the men's one's a little difficult with not knowing the fifth member, and I have a feeling that person has a very high shot of winning it. Because I think it's going to be debuting somebody. If it's Axiom, I think it's going to be more of just kind of like a story build up. So I don't know. We'll see. But then we got the NXT Championship match. This is honestly the match. I don't care. I don't care about it. Trick's trying to do his best, but the whole like injury thing and he's gonna come back trying to do it. I don't. I'll tell me. I don't feel like they should do Rich Holland's doing neck injuries when he's what he did to Big E, especially on Big E getting absolutely destroyed by the New Day. That's a whole different video in itself. But yeah, I feel like that's not necessarily in good taste when they've done it now multiple times. If it happened once, I guess it's like, okay, they're calling back this thing and it's crazy. But they've done it now a couple times where it looks like Rich Holland injured somebody's neck. And I just don't think that's necessarily the thing that they should be going for. But I think this is a lock. I think it's Trick Williams. I don't think there's any way that he loses here to Rich Holland. It would be one of the worst decisions in a long time, because I feel like the whole point of him winning here is to get another defense under his belt to possibly drop the belt. Also, I just forgot my other idea for the number one contendership match. For the men's side, Oba Fetty's also a big person that they could put in there. I don't know why. I remember that. I wrote it down and I'm looking at my sheet right now and I'm like, why didn't I missed this whole part. Obi would win the match if he's part of it in there. I'm just saying that too, because he makes a lot of narrative thread now that he's past the North American Championship and he's now on for bigger and better things. Plus him versus Trick, if that's just a match I want to see. So yeah, I forgot that little part because I skipped over my notes. And yeah, so tell me what you guys think. The PLE is in a couple hours, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it because I know I'm going to be enjoying it. Bye, guys.